My K24 swap Civic was built for street class time attack with grid life last year, and all told, it performed pretty well. I love this little thing. Out of a class of 80 competitors, the car finished in 4th place. Not bad for its debut year. We made a lot of changes to the car throughout the year to make it faster and more compliant. Got a lot of coaching from professional drivers, and we're ready to get the car to go even faster for the 2021 time attack season. We've got some big changes planned this year.
Grid Life has introduced a new class this year called Club TR, and that class is allowed to run Aero, which means I get to put a big splitter and a big spoiler on this car, and I'm super excited to do that because I've been wanting it all last year, so I'm really excited to finally be able to put some downforce on this car and make the car look not stock. So yeah, the look of this car is about to change a lot. So before we go any further, I forgot to weigh this car. In this class, there's actually a weight limit. I cannot be lighter than 2550 with me in the car. So I'm probably actually gonna have to add a little bit of weight ballast to the car, but I'm curious to know kind of where we are to start with before the front end and stuff goes on. So I've just set this stuff back in so the weight is accurate. The weight is with me in the car. Oh, let me grab my helmet too. Let's get real accurate.
2458.
That's really light. 2458 with me and my helmet and stuff?
Yep.
Wow. We're gonna have to add 100 pounds of ballast to this car. It's too dang light.
With the old bumper removed, I wanted to measure the difference between the old OEM Type R bumper and the new wide body front end. The OEM bumper is 66 inches wide, and the new wide body bumper is 69. Yeah, buddy, that's 3 inches wider. 69 is a pretty good number for a width of a bumper, you think?
So, you might be wondering by now why I just removed the headlights. 3 reasons. First reason is because this headlight broke when I hit a wall at Road America.
It's okay. It's okay.
Second reason is they've kind of yelled out a little bit. They're actually eBay headlights. They were like 70 bucks. I think they held up pretty good considering. I was planning on just getting like new headlights whenever I wanted them to be cleaner. Which luckily we have to do because of reason 3, which is I'm switching this over to the 99 spec front end, which actually has a little bit of a slimmer headlight look. So I have some new 99 spec headlights, and you'll see that they're just like a little bit skinnier, a little bit squintier. So that will properly fit on the new bumper setup and just look a little bit more aggressive, I think. So, and obviously they are much cleaner because they're brand new. We'll see how they look a year from now if I don't hit any walls.
With the headlights converted over to the 99 spec headlights, the new bumper should fit right up, but it doesn't. My 96 core support isn't a direct fit with a 99 bumper. It's gonna take some massaging to figure out how to get this bumper to bolt up.
I think I need to cut the core support just a little bit, and that way I can slide that bumper back, but still have, if I cut the bumper, then there's nothing to actually tie the bumper to the car. This thing's gonna have to hold up to, 140 miles an hour. So this isn't a car show build. I gotta make sure this thing is strong on there. So I want as many attachment points as possible to hold that bumper on. All right, I'll cut the core support.
Getting a fiberglass bumper to fit on a car is not a new process for me. I know that it's never easy. Almost every fiberglass mold from every company is messed up in some way. This kit is a genuine kit, but it still requires quite a lot of work to get to fit up correctly. There's spots that need to be cut and grinded away, and then there's the process of building bracketry.
Okay, so I got the bumper actually up there, but attaching it now, I'm creating some brackets because there's not enough to the top of this to connect up. I didn't want to do like zip ties or clips or anything like that because this is gonna have to hold up to 140 miles an hour, which is the fastest I've been. So I definitely don't want that flying off. So yeah, we got 2 mounts here on the top done, and those are honestly probably the most important ones. And then we'll do 2 on the side just for extra support because that's going to support the fenders as well. And yeah, it's coming along. It's a slow process, but it's coming along. Okay, I got some more scrap aluminum that we're going to use because it's lightweight, and I got square tubing this time because square tubing is going to be super rigid, and this is going to stick out of the car a good amount. So, and that's also going to give a hard mounting point for when the fender comes up and bolts to the bumper, which I'll have probably screws underneath.
The front bumper is fully attached. Now it's time for the fenders.
Like a glove.
Like a glove. They're sticking out like wings.
This is why fiberglass body kits suck. Their panel gap measures in inches, not millimeters. And because it's fiberglass, it can crack if you bend it too much. It's a back and forth game of mounting one spot, sliding and pushing on one piece, and then mounting another spot and working your way around. Eventually, it will fit. Hopefully.
It is in place. It actually looks pretty dang good. Huh.
This fender is attached by 8 bolts all the way around. Way overkill, but I don't want to risk it coming off, and it needs a lot of attachment points in order to mount up flush. After what felt like days, I finally got both fenders mounted up and flush. It's time to move on to the next big mod. A big wing! I'm putting a rear wing on this car because I need rear downforce to pair up with the front downforce that I'll be adding later.
Car looks really dumb without the Type R spoiler on it, but that's okay because we're going bigger. We got this bad boy going on, and this mounts roughly like that. I'm gonna have to drill holes into the car, but you might notice the top doesn't actually like line up with the metal on the hatch. So I didn't realize this, but you're supposed to run the stock spoiler underneath, which is this. I didn't have a stock spoiler, so I went to like 4 different junkyards to find this. And then you have a flat surface to actually bolt the wing to. However, this is plastic, which is not gonna hold all the downforce that I'm gonna make. So that's not good. So this is a CX trim level spoiler. They made metal spoilers on these Civics on the DX trim. And I was lucky enough to have a follower on Instagram actually came from 4 hours away to deliver this to me, and I'm very gracious because it's made out of metal. It's way stronger. It is purple, so we're gonna have to paint it. And actually, I think it looks better because it kind of sticks out a little bit further. But that'll go like that, and then we have a good hard metal surface to mount to. That shouldn't go anywhere. So we'll have a good mounting surface to mount the wing. But before we go ahead and do that, I think we should probably paint this championship white. Gonna use some wheel coating as a primer here. Yeah, it's like not a proper paint job, but it's a track car. So I actually got this from Advanced, and in some Advanced stores will actually mix color code paint. So I actually have some NH0 Championship white that I will be spraying on top of this, so it's going to be perfectly color matched. But it will be coming out of a rattle can, because again, it's a track car.
White is probably the easiest color to paint, and the color that hides blemishes the best. So I'm not too worried about making sure the spoiler looks good. After painting the primer color, I line up the spoiler mounting holes to drill out before painting the base coat. Now it's just a quick scuff and it's ready for championship white. This is the 200th hole that I'm drilling into my car now. It's not hurting the car, and it needs to be done, but it does still hurt to watch.
Look away. Don't watch this part.
That's pretty good. I mean, I can move the whole car just from 1 out of 4 mounts. All right, 1 mount to go. Well, as you can see, this wing is clearly strong enough to support 155 pounds anyway. I would hope so, because it's rated to support up to like 500 pounds at 100 miles an hour. We got it mounted properly, and I think it looks pretty cool. Just gonna have some coffee. Admire my work. I'm putting some side skirts on this. These are 5-inch tall side skirts to try to lower that gap, help, again, lower drag on this car. It's probably honestly gonna make the 17s look a lot nicer too, kind of like fit in better with the car. But yeah, I don't know, should I leave them black or should I paint them white? Comment below what you think I should do. Black is easy, so we're gonna go with black for now. But I might wanna paint them white in the future. I don't know.
With the side skirts installed, we're now halfway done with the Aero mods that are going on this car. I think the car looks pretty good so far. I'm so excited to get out on track, but we're still a long way from completing our maximum downforce and minimum drag efforts. We still haven't done arguably the most important thing, a big front splitter for frontal downforce. My 96 spec hood still doesn't fit, so we'll have to do something about that. Obviously, the front end needs to get painted, and we've got to do something about these chunky factory mirrors. But all of that will have to wait for next episode.